Welcome, our esteemed viewer, to the Voice of Reason, our usual YouTube channel, where we traverse at different matters affecting this particular nation. In our this week's segment, we are on political affairs and on the roadmap towards 2022 elections in the Republic of Kenya. I'm your host as usual, Clinton Okwiri, and I'm welcoming our guest, none rather than Jata Brian. Karibu sana mheshimiwa.
Thank you very much.
Karibu, how are you?
I'm fine.
You're doing well?
Yeah.
Oh, you look awesome.
Thank you very much.
Ni kama umetoka wedding, man?
Hapana.
This you always?
Yes.
Wonderful. Karibu.
Asante sana.
Wonderful. Now, how is the going?
I am good.
The going is okay? I'm doing great. The economy, at least hizi mambo iko afadhali.
Welcome to the Hustlers Mansion.
Bwana. Unajua hii mambo hasa hii mzee. Wonderful, Mr. Brian Jata. It is always a pleasure to host you here. And we can't run away from the fact that this week's segment is trying to look at serious political affairs in this particular nation. And as you know, you are a serious Jubilee supporter from its formation and as a way as you go forward. Now, this week we want to look at a very serious topic. And our esteemed viewer, all of us are here today to look at the issue deep state. What do you understand by this deep state? What is the affair of common mananchi in this particular deep state? And our host is our guest is here today with us to try and help us understand this. This week we've had a lot of talks, man.
Yes.
And it is starting from your political party. The deputy president, who is the deputy party leader of the Jubilee, has mentioned that there are some people called deep state, and that they are on the way, or they are on his way towards the presidency comes 2022. We are amazed. What is this deep state?
Okay. Thank you very much also for hosting me
Yes.
on this show. First, let me say, deep state did not start during the time of His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta. Deep state started during the reign of the first president, His Excellency Jomo Kenyatta. Okay, so today what we are hearing from the deputy president is nothing new. Okay, but it is something that has been going on, but which has been kept under the rug. So for the deputy president making such a grave statement, we should not take him lightly. Okay, we have seen media houses. Just like ours here, yours here.
Listen.
These media houses have been running headlines from Monday to Monday about the deputy president trying to disinform the public and propagate false information and try to decampaign the deputy president. A moment. You have asked a question, I must respond.
Okay, go ahead. But as you respond, you are moving with at a supersonic speed. I don't know whether you are trying to justify to us that it is true that in this country there are people who sit somewhere. There is a system that sits somewhere and decides who becomes the president of this particular nation. And you are trying to tell us that this is what the deputy president has told Kenyans, that it has been happening from times immemorial. Kwamba wananchi wanapiga kura, lakini kuna watu wamekaa mahali wanaamua. And you are justifying that this what has been. So meaning the deputy president is a result of a deep state. His current deputy. What authority does he has then to come and tell us something that is a beneficiary of?
Thank you very much. Actually, those are your words, not my words. If you listen to me very clearly, and you should first listen to understand.
Okay.
Not listen to speak.
Okay, you have the whole time.
Yeah. So as I complete my statement,
Yes.
I said that we have serious individuals trying to drive a certain narrative. Government officials trying to disinform the public, to misinform the public about the deputy president. Okay. They have run headlines. Just like you, as today you are talking about deep state. You are trying to be biased against the deputy president.
But did it come from the deputy president?
We have seen, it came from the deputy president. Yes. But today we are not speaking about the corona pandemic. We are speaking about the deputy president. Yet we are in the middle of a grievous, a ravaging economy recession.
Mr. Jata, you must agree that the deputy president's office, that is an office that is a very crucial office in the Republic of Kenya and in the governance. And therefore, any matter or rather any word that comes from the holder of that office is telling us what our nation is. And we can't run away from the fact that what we, the media, are portraying out is exactly what comes from them.
I came here to respond to your questions.
Yes.
Okay? But I cannot respond when you're answering my
But then you don't have to criticize us as a media personnel, or rather as the public, on what comes from your own serious office holders.
You have just told me to answer to
Well,
find
the deep state. Yeah.
And now I'm answering your question.
Okay.
So as I complete my
But you say that the deep state started from the time of Mzee Jomo Kenyatta.
as I complete my statement, let me
No.
me just complete my
Okay.
statement.
Okay.
Then you
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So we as I said, the deep state started during the time of His Excellency Jomo Kenyatta, and we witnessed it during Moi's time. Before when Moi was the vice president, there was push and pull from Mount Kenya region, Mount Kenya mafias and cartels trying to stop His Excellency President Moi. We have seen in 2007 also the same deep state trying their best to curtail His Excellency Moi, the Right Honorable Prime Minister. We have seen today that the deputy president is also being targeted by the deep state, and this deep state are few cartels who don't want power to go to the chosen person by Wanjiku. But you know the benefit of this is in 2002. Actually, let me first go back.
As you go back, then
When
Kenyatta
died.
Does it mean
Kenyatta
that?
died?
Okay.
A moment. When Kenyatta died, even despite those actions of the deep state, the Attorney General or those people, the government, the senior government officers, despite all that, Moi became the president. Despite all the actions of the deep state in 2002, President Moi Kibaki became the president. Despite all the actions in 2013, when they say choices have consequences, when they told us that if we elect His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto, that we shall not even get funding from abroad, because those are also deep states. His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta, today he's the president, and His Excellency the Deputy President is also the Deputy President.
Mr. Brian, do we really agree that I don't want to confuse the deep state with the opposition, because literally that is not what it is. But then the deep state, according to this particular context that the DP was trying to refer to it, are people who actually work with the government themselves. Maybe they do business with them. It is the other week that we saw deadlines that some business people of this particular nation are really interested in who becomes the president, but they don't. Them personally, they don't. People were mentioned. I saw it in the Standards and Daily Nation. A lot of people are mentioned. So these are people who some majority of them works, or rather does business with the government, and you're trying to tell us that there are people who have always been against the system. But I would say that it is the system itself. They support you for a particular benefit. You've tried to allude that this particular scenario has existed with us from independence up to date. Does it mean therefore that we as a country, we are not making a progress in the democratic arena?
No, you're making progress, and actually Kenya since 1963 up to date, we have made serious progress in terms of democracy.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to hear from you, so that we proceed. We've had in several elections in this particular country, because when we mention deep state, it is related to elections, and as we move forward towards 2022, each and every time we've had His Excellency, the former Prime Minister of this country, the former Prime Minister Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, under several elections, he always talk of electoral injustices and reforms in the electoral sector and all that. Raila has been making this particular noise from times and memorials and all that, and at times when he makes it from the position side. This time round, we are seeing a deputy president of whom you support as your deputy party leader and probably the candidate 2022. we are seeing a senior government official who is eyeing towards being in another higher office for the first time, trying to tell us that there is something called the deep state. Someone who works with actually the state is a state officer. Who is a deep state if not the president and his deputy of this particular country?
Okay, thank you very much. And the deep state, these are small people trying to malign the good name of His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta. They're trying to hide under the shadow of His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta. But the deputy president and President Uhuru Kenyatta are friends, and their friendship did not start in 2013. Remember, William Ruto supported Uhuru Kenyatta in 2002. So the support for Uhuru Kenyatta in the Jubilee Party did not start in 2013. This is something that we have shared for a long time.
They have walked the road.
Yes.
Does it therefore mean that Raila Odinga, in his claims that he has always made to the public and all this time long in our political era, Raila has been right that people who actually manipulate our elections?
I don't want to delve deep into the election issues, and we know there is a certain quota in Kenya that doesn't accept elections. And today, as I can confirm, in 2002, when Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto lost, we graciously accepted defeat. But it cannot be that you shall be defeated in each and every election cycle, but you shall never accept election defeat. The people of Kenya in 2013 and in 2017, twice in 2017, they exercised their constitutional right and went and voted. And after voting, the person who was declared as president was Uhuru Kenyatta, elected fairly. Even we had international observers, those people who had said choices have consequences or what, or if because you have elected an ICC criminal, we shall not go in a way. They said the election was free and fair. So for once, let us at least say that we have had democracy since 2002.
Well, I love the way you've brought those particular points. But then I asked you whether Raila Odinga he has been telling people all the time around that, look, there is someone messing up with the house here. I don't know. The public has always seen, why this Baba and all that. This time around, we are not even in elections. Elections are not yet. But the deputy president is already complaining of someone trying to manipulate with this presidential agenda. Anyway, that notwithstanding, the Jubilee government has ran for, now this is the second term. They are coming towards the end with a lot of critique, a lot of issues here and there, and the DP himself, the Deputy President Dr. William Samoei Ruto himself has been in this government from then up to now, and they are almost reaching the finishing line. People were amazed, people were perturbed, This guy has been deeply in the government for the 2 terms. What authority does he has to complain if those people who could be against him now, he calls them deep state, are the people who took him to office then and he never complained? If those people tell him that, my friend, maybe we feel that the deep state, quote unquote, must not support you this time around. Lazima upigania. What is wrong with that?
You're making a wrong statement, and I must correct you when you make that wrong statement.
Yes.
You have said that it is the deep state who took the president and his deputy to office. No. The president and the deputy president were chosen by 8 million people, 8 million voters, who went and queued for hours on August 8th and made that constitutional decision to elect His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta.
You're an honorable member of this particular country, and you're aware that the Chief Justice, the court, the Supreme Court itself nullified those elections, and I think to this context, it was because of the deep state affairs in manipulating with the process. And it is, regardless, I know that the nation has been there, millions of people came, voted, and all that. But the system, to some extent, was not so transparent as we may say, and this has been affirmed by the DP in his recent statement.
Let me demystify what you have said.
Okay.
Actually, as Jubilee, we accepted the constitutional decision of the court.
Good.
Because we respect the